I'm so excited to introduce Rabbi Ari Abramowitz. Rabbi Ari Abramowitz is one of Israel's premier media personalities. He is a filmmaker, educator, and the host of the popular Israel-inspired radio on iTunes. Welcome. In 2017, I want to mention this, Rabbi Abramowitz made headlines as he was forcefully silenced and arrested on the Temple Mount for praying the Kaddish prayer for the murdered Solomon family, slain by a terrorist on the previous Shabbat in Halamish, Samaria. So, welcome, Rabbi Abramowitz.
Thank you. You started that 4 seconds early. I want my full 5 minutes. Chanukah Sameach. I want to start by wishing a big Yasher Koach. Good on you. Is that the definition? To the organizers of this conference, because this is the issue. This is not an issue. This is the issue not only of our times, but of all times. Since the beginning of time, this is the culmination, the purpose of all of creation. So it's about time we have a conference like this to celebrate this and to discuss this. The Talmud says, the world is like a human eyeball. The white of the eye is the ocean surrounding the world. The iris is this continent. The pupil is Jerusalem. And the image in the pupil is the Holy Temple. A number of people, when I told them I was speaking here today, they told me to reconsider, to be careful, because it was right outside an event just like this that one of the great leaders and visionaries of our generation, Yehuda Glick, was shot, assassinated, attempted to assassinate Yehuda Glick right outside this building, talking about this subject. But if there is any issue that is worth sacrificing your entire life for, it is this one. If there's anything that we can recognize from our heads to our hearts, Maimonides says the greatest distance is between the head and the heart. If we can bring from our heads to our hearts that God is in charge of absolutely everything, and our enemies will not be able to harm us. For where is Yehuda Glick today? And where is his attempted assassin? There are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil for one who is striking at the root. Henry David Thoreau said that. I doubt he was talking about the construction of the Third Temple, but he should have been. Because there is no other issue, there's no other topic which is the root of evil in the world. The fact that our temple is not standing with great majesty on the Temple Mount is bringing into the world the lies and the duality and the confusion that is plaguing our entire world today. And that's why we need to be focusing on this and this alone more than any other subject. Because this is what it's all about. When John called me and asked me to speak, he said, I have 5 minutes. 5 minutes to discuss the Temple Mount and the temple. I said, John, you're talking to Jews here, right? So clearly you're giving me 5, but you're expecting me to take 15. He said, no, there's going to be a guard there, just like the Waqf on the Temple Mount, watching your lips. And if you move even one word past 5 minutes, they're going to escort you out. So I said to myself, we're early, so I'll give you a couple more minutes. Okay. So I said, 5 minutes. How do I share my life's mission in 5, not only my life, the mission of the Jewish people, the mission of all of humanity, not only in this generation, but all time in 5 minutes? How would I do that? It was actually a worthwhile exercise to really think it through and get down to the very heart, the very core of what it's all about. I wasn't very successful, but it was worth thinking about. It was worth delving to the heart of why we're talking about the temple, why we're talking about the Temple Mount. You know, this past Shabbat, I was at the home of one of my great rabbis, Rabbi Judah Michel, and I was stepping outside. His father is here, actually. You should meet him. And I stepped outside to pray the afternoon service. And I didn't know which way Jerusalem was, which way to face. So I asked, it was his home, so I said, which way is Jerusalem? He says, I'll tell you what my Rebbe, Rav Hutner, told me. He said, you close your eyes and you turn around in a circle. And when you're facing Jerusalem, your heart starts to beat faster. Why does our heart beat faster when we're facing Jerusalem? What is it about Jerusalem? It's not just a city that we've been praying for. It's the city that hosts the Temple Mount and what comes from the temple when the temple is built. I remember a cartoon that was shared with me of two fish in a fish tank. One says to the other, do you believe in water? And the other says, I don't believe in water. My grandfather believed in water, but I don't believe in water. And they are there surrounded by water, totally immersed in water. Prophet tells us that when the temple is built, when Messiah comes, knowledge of God will cover the earth as water covers the entire sea. We're immersed in godliness, but we're here in this world struggling day in and day out to bring in the knowledge from our heads to our hearts. Gamzu latova. Everything is for the good, but look at all the pain and look at all the evil. How can we believe everything is for the good, but we know it is? Help us bring it from our head to our heart. Ein od milvado, there's nothing but God in the whole world. Nothing. But it's so difficult. God did a fantastic job at congealing the pure energy of this world into the physical matter and the perception of duality, of good and evil, of evil having some sort of intrinsic power in and of itself. When Mashiach comes, when the temple is built, there will be no more room for anger or for hatred or for jealousy, because it will be so clear to us, clear as day, that God has given us everything we need and that all of humanity are brothers. So allow me to end with a prayer. Because really there's nothing else to say. We can talk and we can talk as much as we want. But really this is in Hashem's hands. So Hashem, please look at us here today. Please see our hearts. Please accept the words of our mouth as sacrifices. We know that we're probably not ready. We're not worthy, but help us. Help us to be ready and help us to be worthy. Help us remember the lessons we've learned throughout 2,000 years of the exile. The lesson we've learned with the destruction of two temples, that the temple we're praying for is not a building. It's a relationship. Please humble our hearts before you. Look at us here today. There's Jews, there's Christians, there's fundamental differences in our understandings. There are fundamental things that I, as a Jew, believe that they believe is wrong, and vice versa. Humble our hearts to come together in love for each other and love for all of mankind. Have mercy on us, on the generation, and on the world, and build your habitation in this world. Build the Beit HaMikdash soon in our days.